Right, hello everyone. Let's get started. Hi, welcome to this webinar. My name is Keaton Gohill. I'm the product manager here at CMS Distribution. Again, thank you again for joining this webinar on Double Take. And we are obviously short of time, so I'm not going to go into too much. And I'm going to hand over to our representative from Vision Solutions, Mark Adams.
Morning. Thank you, Ketan, for the introduction. I am Mark Adams, the Channel Sales Manager from Vision Solutions. And thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. As this is Cheltenham Gold Cup week, I wanted to do a race-themed webinar to show you some of the winning solutions and some of the technology that you should be backing. Now, over the next 20 minutes, you can expect some more racing puns as good as those, as well as an overview on some of our solutions where we are seeing opportunity in the market now. And more importantly, for a lot of you, there'll be a prize draw at the end where you can win a £100 bet to actually place on the Gold Cup itself. So we'll start the presentation now. Initially, as I said, I'm just going to go through a 20-minute presentation, so hopefully it won't take too much of your time this morning, and just give you a good overview on who we are, some of our key solutions, and again, some of the opportunities that we're seeing. So I'll start off with a brief overview on who we are as Vision Solutions. Now Vision Solutions and Double Take combined, we are a premier provider of software solutions, and some of our main priorities are all focused on data protection, minimizing downtime, maximizing resources for the data center. We are one of the only companies out there that can deliver workload migrations, high availability, disaster recovery, as well as enabling data sharing across many operating systems, and both hardware independence, virtual hypervisor, physical and cloud-based data sharing as well. Now, across our portfolio, we're focused on, or we have Double Take, Mimix, and iTerra, which gives us as a company and you as our partner base suddenly a huge opportunity for your clients. They could be running Microsoft, Linux, AIX, or 101 different databases. Now, we give the capacity to move data, and that's what Vision and Double Take have always been about, the ability to move data from A to B, whether that's for availability, disaster recovery, or data sharing, as we're seeing more and more of. The next slide, from my aspect, is a very powerful slide, very simple in a way, but it's a picture tells 100,000 words, as it were. We as Double Take, on a very, very high level, I'm going to go into some of the solutions in a little bit more detail. Okay, between the source and target server. Now, I've been with Vision over 10 years now, and when we initially started, it was all about physical servers and protecting SQL and Exchange replicating from A to B. Then we saw the birth and of virtualization, and how that changed the market and the industry. And since then, we've also now seen the cloud, and we're seeing how that's affecting environments and CIO's decisions as well. But as Vision and Double Take, we've kept to our core offering, and we can still replicate from that source environment to the target environment, whatever that source and target environment is. So your clients at the moment will be sat on legacy platforms. They'll have aging hardware with various storage attached. They may have a compelling reason now that they need to move off this hardware, whether it is the fact that service contracts are coming to an end. Similarly, with virtualization, they may have moved to one virtual platform and now need to move to another virtual platform because their maintenance dates are coming to an end. Or they may be under a cloud initiative where they want to start utilizing various cloud platforms that are out there to run test and development work on. But still, the ability to move between various environments is key. And Double Take, because the way it's installed on your client's environments, we are truly agnostic between source and target, whether it's physical, virtual, whatever storage is attached, and whatever cloud you're looking to utilize or your clients are, we can help replicate between those. And it's the replication that's key, and it's why you're looking to replicate, whether, again, it's for high availability, disaster recovery, or migration. Now, 3 core solutions: a double take availability, double take DR, and double take move, all powered by that same double take replication engine. Now, we as Vision have been in business for over 25 years, so our technology is tried and tested. It works. We're taking away that risk factor, if you like, taking away that gamble. For us, that replication engine is a sure thing, and it's how you use it and how we can use it for your advantage to protect your clients. Now, I'm just today going to give a very high overview on how availability and DR work. If you'd like a more in-depth understanding, a technical demo, we can arrange that. Please contact your CMS account manager, and we can set up a personal one-to-one session, whether that's for a WebEx, an evaluation, or proof of concept. Now, double take availability works in a very, very similar way. Our replication engine replicates from one environment to another environment. We replicate in real time at byte level. Therefore, the recovery point and recovery time objective is close to 0. We are constantly replicating data as it comes in on that production environment, and again, whatever that environment is, whether it's a physical server, whether you've got VMs on Hyper-V or VMware, or whether you've already moved into a cloud and you're doing some test development on AWS or Azure, or if you've got your own cloud that you want clients to work on, we can replicate from that environment to a target environment. And the reason we do it in real time is so that if there's any errors or anything goes wrong, or you want to do a test failover, all of your client's information is up to the second replicated onto that target environment. So if anything happens, your clients are going to lose near 0 downtime. Failover times can vary for a few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and typically it's all about the target environment, starting up the various applications. The recovery point objective, though, is close to 0 because we're constantly replicating that information. And because double take will install on any Windows server and replicate that entire server, the OS, the application, and the data, we are application agnostic. So whatever applications your clients are running on whatever hardware they have, we can replicate it and we can protect it, which is a very compelling story. Now again, this is double take availability and just a very high level overview. Similarly with double take DR. So double take availability is for those servers, if you're tiering servers, it's for those servers that you need to fail over within minutes. As I mentioned, 5 to 10 minute failover time. Double take DR, again, is powered by that same double take replication engine. So you can replicate in real time and at byte level. So all of your data, application information, OS is replicated to the target environment. And again, we support multiple different platforms. So you can have a mixed hybrid environment of physicals, cloud-based, and virtual servers as well. The difference with our DR solution is that it replicates onto a single repository. So it can replicate a number of servers, say 15, 20 servers onto a single repository. And then when you want to recover from that repository, you simply push the data from your repository server out to a recovery server. Now that recovery server could be placed anywhere. Again, so this creates a very compelling solution for yourselves when talking to clients. Where do they need to recover? Do they need to recover onto your environment, onto one of your data center servers? Do they need to have that information pushed back down the line to one of their own physical servers or a virtual server or some other recovery appliance or server? And because that action there of pushing the information from the repository back to a recovery server, that can take 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on the amount of data that they're recovering. So suddenly you've got two key solutions powered by exactly the same replication engine of DoubleTake. Availability enables servers to fail over very quickly. DR will enable servers to recover in a slightly longer time frame. So depending on your clients, what their SLAs are with yourselves, suddenly you've got two solutions that will cover their entire environment for their Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 servers. So that's DoubleTake DR. Again, any information and follow up from here if you want to see a deep dive of any of these technically, we can set that up for you. If you have any questions during the presentation, please use the chat box and we'll cover these at the end as well. So just an overview on positioning of availability and DR, where we see a lot of wins and where you should see opportunity. Those anything to anything mixed environments. So if you've got production servers, or if your clients have got physicals and virtuals that they need to protect with different applications, you can protect them all with one solution and manage them all through one pane of glass. Again, the ability to protect the entire server, application and data is key. Again, managing it all, you can protect SQL, Exchange and any bespoke application they have through one skill set. So you get your staff trained up and suddenly you can add this as part of your service as well as your solution. Hardware independent is a key one as well. You may have clients at the moment that have SANs in place and they've had them in place for some time and suddenly need to do this upgrade. So they may have a compelling moment in time that they've got to move away from their SAN environment. And we take away that need to have a SAN-to-SAN protection, in DR. And so suddenly making that hardware live longer because it's not having the intensity on their production environment. So it really does give you a flexible set of protection methods. Now, one of the key ones here is reducing operational risk. As I mentioned, Vision have been around for over 25 years. Our software is tried and tested and has been proven successful. Now also, we've done some research, IDC have done some research and shown there's a paradigm shift in IT every 20 to 25 years. We saw the first at the creation and development of mainframe IT and mainframe systems. Then this moved forward with the whole PC computing. Having computers suddenly in the home was an absolute revelation. And now, as we move forward, a PC in the home looks dated essentially. It's not just in the home we want it on ourselves permanently. And so we've seen this huge shift. Now I've been with Vision over 10 years, and this is one of the biggest shifts that we're seeing in our environment around this social, mobile, cloud development. Your clients are looking at this at the moment. The CIOs are trying to establish what they've got at the moment and what they need to change to make them more agile, what they've got to put in place. I mean, we are now, as a company, bearing witness to the birth of the Internet of Things. Everything is suddenly connected, and it is generating more and more data than ever before. However, one of the keys is what do you do with all this data? Now, part of this paradigm shift falls at the feet of the CIOs. The IoT is upon us. Big data, smart data is growing and will grow exponentially. Cloud computing is creating a disruptive wave in IT. So it's looking at you as their partners on how that they can make best here. We, as Vision, can help you with agility and trying to make those businesses more agile. Vision can enable this change, help to evolve. Darwin once said, it's not the largest or the quickest of the species that survives, but those most adaptive to change. As Vision, we have changed. We have had to embrace this change in the environment, and we've gone from being one of the leaders in high availability and solutions to now also being one of the leaders in migration solutions. So I'm just going to look at a couple of the migration challenges that we see out there. So a big change, well, we look at now, it's not necessarily about the destination. We also look at that journey. And I'm just going to talk about Uber for a second. I'm sure all of you are familiar with Uber. This company wasn't even around a few years ago, and suddenly they've grown up to be a multi. And they're crazy in a way because they're one of the biggest taxi or private hire companies in the world, yet they don't own a single taxi. We, as Vision, as Double Take, are becoming one of the leading migration to the cloud companies in the world. Yet we don't own a single cloud. We're just there to help you with that journey. We're not deciding where you're going, but it is that journey which is key for us to try and assist you with. It's all about reducing that risk from our perspective. Now, Double Take Move works in a very, very similar way because it's powered by the same engine as Double Take Availability. Replicate from any environment to any environment. So we're talking physicals, virtuals, cloud, again to any physical, virtual, cloud environment. So you'll have clients at the moment looking to embrace new environments or hardware refreshes or looking to move to the cloud. You can use our Move technology as part of your service offering and certainly enable a reduced amount of downtime for your clients and reduced risk. Our migration tool works. We're quite happy to work with you. Any POCs that you may have, work with us. And, over the last few months, we've been working over the last 12 months. Last year, there was a big movement around Server 2003, and there's still a lot of clients on Server 2003. Now, we can assist those in a similar way with SQL. Double Take can be used to either migrate and replicate an entire server, or in the case of Server 2003, we can just replicate the data set. Very similar, we can replicate SQL data set. What we have got a huge advantage, and we've put a lot of development into our new Double Take SQL Move solution. Again, it's powered by the fact that we're very good at what we do in the fact of moving data in real time. There's a huge opportunity, as you should all be aware, that SQL 2005 support ends in April. So we're looking at a very, very short countdown now. You will have clients with SQL 2005 running on their environment, quite probably on a 2003 server. So what our solution can do for you is migrate from a SQL 2005 database into a SQL 2014 database. So they could be on different versions as well. So the SQL Server 05, as I mentioned, could be on a Server 2003, whereas SQL 2014 could be sat on Server 2012. And where our software and our development has taken place is just making that transformation easier for you, taking that risk away. This is what we're focused about. This is what we have changed. This is what one of our key strengths and the ability. So if you've got clients at the moment who you're talking to your clients around SQL 2005, it'd be great afterwards to catch up and find out what the options are for you at the moment. What are you having those conversations? Because if you're not, you can guarantee someone is. And so it's trying to engage your clients and knowing what services you can suddenly offer them. And it might be a case of, you know, what Double Take might have the technology, we have the software that you can utilize and go out and perform these services for your clients. However, if you haven't got these resources available within your pool, you can start to utilize us as a company even more, because we're not just a software company anymore. As I mentioned, we're evolving. There's this big shift in what people need to focus on, and we've developed the migration assurance program. We've got a lot of our technical team in the background who have put a migration factory together essentially. So for those clients who need support with the migration, so if you're looking or talking to clients at the moment and you see a great opportunity there, but you know that you haven't got the resources to actually fulfill it, talk to us, because we have. Migration isn't simply about installing a piece of software, moving it from A to B. It may be if you've only got a few servers. However, if you've got a lot of servers, there's a lot. When you start scratching under that surface, there's suddenly so many different areas to consider. And we've got a tried and tested migration plan, moving from the whole discovery, analysis, working through the project, working with yourselves, working with the clients. One of the first rules with migration planning is actually one of the first rules with disaster recovery planning. With disaster recovery planning, you've got to have an inventory. You've got to know what you have in your environment. Because if you don't, how can you expect to recover? And it's exactly the same methodology when we're talking about migration. If you don't know what you have, how can you ever plan to successfully migrate that into a new environment? I mean, it's not for us necessarily to get into the decision-making of where they want to go. Again, for us, it's about the journey. We're a great cloud taxi service. For you, as partners, that's where you add the value. Why are your clients wanting to migrate? Is it a case of they need new hardware? And we actually did some research recently across our entire client base on the reasons why they're migrating. And we thought, prior to the results coming through, you'd have thought one of the big drivers of migration was cloud, people moving it to test and development or just moving to DR and the cloud. The number one reason for migration from our research was hardware refresh. So it wasn't actually sort of cloud, it was the fact that simply they needed their hardware refresh and they're moving from old legacy hardware to new, more economical, better functioning, on a different virtualization platform. But ultimately, it was all still in-house, and this was by far the key reason for migration. And again, so it's trying to understand, working with the clients, what's changing, what do they need to transform? Is it SQL going out of date? Is it Server 2003? Is it a virtualization project? How many servers are they looking to migrate across? And then part of that with the discovery, learning and understanding what the client's got, what's connected as well, various affinity mapping, understanding what servers are connected. So when we do a migration, we're migrating the right servers in the right ways at the right time. Because otherwise, if you just start migrating servers ad hoc, who knows what they're going to be attached to? So that will then have a huge impact on success for you as a partner, success for the client. So from my perspective, it's looking at what we've learned and gained over the years. Here's just a few of our examples of some of our successful migrations. And this, to me, isn't just highlighting some of the migrations that we've done in all different environments. This highlights how every journey is different. Whether it's AIG, migrating thousands of servers into new hardware, telecomputing there, it's a huge Microsoft project moving from VMware onto Hyper-V. As you can see, each and every project is different. They might have different clusters, and maybe consolidating data centers, maybe consolidating databases. Every journey is different, and that's why we want to work with you, close with you, to either help give you the tools so you can go out and perform these services, or use us intermittently, whether we can do the entire project for you or part, and drop in and drop out at the beginning, middle and end. So the migration should ultimately bring you that peace of mind in a complex world. So